Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna let you do the intro. I ain't
Oh,
saying anything yet.
I like live from the parts unknown, the Clem show. Usually it's every second and fourth Monday. This I'm going to apologize because this month has been a wreck, mainly because of me. Our last show was supposed to have been May 13th, but unfortunately, the morning of May 13th, I got well, really the afternoon of May, the early afternoon of May 14th. I got hit with food poisoning so bad to the point where my life was in jeopardy. It was that bad. It was that bad. Thankfully, I am still on this side of the grave. So um, I'd like to thank everyone for the prayers and support. I also like to thank the fans and stuff because I know there was a couple of people that checked in on me. Because the fact that we've been doing the show, twice a month for over 2 years now, 2 years, 3 years almost. And so the
Three.
fact
Yeah, almost three.
yeah, the fact that we have missed the episode, that's not normal for us. We might be. I think one other time
Nope.
we might have been a day or two late, but never this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost at 100% back. With 15 days out. I'd say about 2 or 3 days ago was the first time I kind of felt normal per se. My appetite is fully not
Mm-hmm.
back. I yeah. So this it was something else. It was something else. But that's why we didn't have a show on the 13th, and everything. So, like I said, apologies to the fans. But as we have in life, real life stuff comes up, and so
What's I saying? Life happens, people. Life happens. You can't prepare for these things, man. Things happen.
I climb my thing.
Okay, so with that being said, people, yeah, go ahead. With
On
that
with
being said, we have a few things that did happen. We're on with the show, man. Enough about our lives. I don't think y'all came to see hear about our life stories. So with that being said, on with the show. As everybody knows, if you remember, it's been 9 days out. Everybody know well, the people that were sponsored or tried to sponsor. Let's leave it like that. I don't want to say too much on it because we talked about this already off of camera. Anyways, sorry, the production of the Kitty Claus, aka our friend of the show, Reagan. Anyways, it was Kimchi versus
right.
Peyton. Long story short, people, very long story short. Fight happened, but
Fight happened.
we had some problems with
Fight
our
happened. Fight happened.
provider. I'm gonna just put it like that. I'll put
Fight
it like
happened.
that.
Fight happened. That's the important thing. Um,
It happened.
and it was a really good contest. Did you see it?
Yeah,
It was a really good contest. I
I've
would
seen it
say
twice, man. I've seen it twice,
twice.
man.
You know what?
Twice.
Sometimes that actually kind of works better when you watch it twice because it's like the first time you see it, okay, da 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 da, and then the second time you can go back a little bit more with a critical eye, and then you might pick up something you missed the first time or what have you. But
Yep,
um,
I did
I
pick
will
up. I did pick up something in the second one.
I will
But
say
go ahead.
because I know Reagan has not released it for the public, so we won't say who won, what the score was, or anything
No.
like that. But I will say this: Kimchi, definitely for someone who had, I think the last competitive thing that I remember her seeing doing was the one where she fought against Laura Cross. Um,
Correct.
Laura Cross.
And that was a few. Yeah, and that was a few years ago. By the way,
And that
people.
was
So
a
it's been a
few years
while,
ago. That was 2, 3 years. Might have been
2 or 3 years
longer than that.
ago. And
Yeah, when she fought Laura.
and I'm not trying to spoil anything for anybody, but she didn't look particularly great. But Laura Cross is very underrated for people who haven't seen
But
her.
I think Kim was still, yeah. The thing is, I
Yeah.
would say in this fight, Kim definitely came and brought with it. Kim,
Yep.
I was happy as someone who had worked with her before. I was happy to see her come back in this format, and pick it
I
up
was
with
happy with
Reagan.
her performance too.
Yes,
I
so
was with you. I agree. I was happy with her performance.
I
I
was
will
happy
say
for
that.
her performance because I think that was probably the biggest thing. Most people that was on the fence about sponsoring was the thing
Hmm.
about was Kim. Kim,
Yeah.
you, the thing is, if you have even subscribed to any of her stuff, I know she has the clip for sale. Kim
Hmm.
Cheese Fettuccine. store. She has a fetish store.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
any of the real competitive stuff she have is if there is, let's say this is the baseline for competitive, her stuff has
Mhm.
always been just a notch above that as far as from an aggression level, skill level, tactics. She always tries to amp
Agree.
it up a little bit than the standard fare, run of the mill, everyday produced cat fights that you see. So I
Right.
was expecting for her to come in on a full fledged cat fight to match that energy plus some, and she did
Mm.
that. So, like I said, I have bought some of her videos in the past and some of her competitive stuff that she had, and this definitely matched what I was looking for. So if anybody was on the fence, uh,
Yeah, I will say that. I will say that this was more technical. This was more of a technical cat fight. So if you were looking for, I'm talking about fans. If you were looking for wild cat fights, this was not one. This was not it. This was very technical. Very.
and you know what?
And I'm nothing. And I have nothing wrong. And I like it. So it didn't bother me at all. I like the tactics in this fight. Very technical fight.
It,
Two
it,
experienced cat fighters, and it showed. It
correct.
showed. You saw it.
Even though one hadn't done it in a while, she still understand the game. What she
Hmm.
understood the assignment, as the kids say. But
Your words. I love your saying.
I
Understood this moment.
it's funny that you say that because in my notes that I had it on my phone, I had this was a very technical fight for a cap. It was almost the technical. I don't want to say it was the perfect cat fight because I don't know
Now
if there's such thing. I don't
there
know if
is,
there's such
yeah,
thing as a
it's very
perfect
rare.
right.
Yeah.
But I would say from if I had to demonstrate or have to show someone what is the base technical level, like the base threshold that you need for a cat fight. You know how like every
That
so
was
often
it.
we always get into this whole definition of what's a cat fight, whatever. This is it because
That was
it
it.
gave us a little bit of everything, but it
Mhm.
didn't lean on one move or one discipline or one thing so much to the point where it neglected the rest.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
we've seen cat fights, especially early on, where it was all about hair pulling. They pulled hair so much they literally did nothing else. We've seen cat fights where they went into breast attacks or crotch
And
attacks
that's
and
about it.
literally did nothing else. We've seen cat fights where they maybe did some open hand slaps but didn't do nothing else. We've
Yeah.
seen cat fights where all they did was locks and holds and they did
And that was
nothing
it.
else.
Ugh.
No hair pulling, no blows to the face, no attacks to the breast, crotch area, and did nothing else.
And by the way, fighters, this is a one of the ways to put us. If you want to put your sponsors and fans to sleep, like you said, you do concentrate on one, like you said, one discipline the whole fight. We will be like, we pay money for this, really?
Unless that is what the sponsors are paying for. So that's what I'm saying. If they're paying for
Yeah,
something that they say,
true.
hey, I just want nothing but a bunch of hair pulling or whatever. And then if you know this going in, then it's kind of
Right.
like that's what the talent is going to go apropos. But I think
Exactly.
what made this work was a confluence of factors. Was the fact that you had two fighters who were seasoned, who have been in the fetish game and understood what the sponsors are looking for, what the producer is looking for, what the fans are looking for, and delivered.
Hmm.
It's hard to deliver because and the fact that they both had that synergy to do that. Because too often you can have one girl really want to bring in the other girl, she kind of We've seen that happen where it's just a dusting. And it's like everybody's on the page for that one girl, and she's just like, "Get it? Oh, you're gonna get beat today because you don't get the assignment at all." We've seen that classic one, the one
We
where
say a few.
we've seen a few of the girl that, and
There's
'cause usually those are the
there's a two
girls
or
that
three
want,
that come to my mind.
yes, they'll be the ones that want to now change the rules in the middle of the match. Like, what are you
That's the
doing?
one. They want to
That's
change them. Oh, I want to.
that
I want to fight you outside. What the heck?
right.
The
I'm like,
heck?
what are you gonna do
What,
outside? All that
what are
you
you going to
can't
do
do
outside? They
now.
can do it on the exactly.
That's not gonna work. It's like
By the way,
you.
people, if you haven't seen the video, we're talking about
No,
the
no, no, no,
now
don't even
retired.
mention, don't even
Yeah.
mention. That's a matter of fact. That talent hadn't even came back, so there's no even sense of bringing
Thank
her name
God.
up.
Thank
No
God
even
she's
sense
not
of bringing
bad.
her up. No even sense of bringing her up.
Okay. Anyways, at the end of the fight, there was a sideline. Our friend,
No, 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 no. Leave all that out. Let them get that when they get it. Leave all that out. Don't
I'm sure by
add
now
nothing.
everybody's watched it.
Huh?
I'm sure by now all the sponsors have watched it by now.
I understand, but the thing is, you got to remember it had not been released for the public yet, so the public had
Oh
bought it.
yeah.
So that's why I said, until the public buys it, then nah.
Well, I got more news. This is not the only one. There's this is not the only news. This one's already done. There's more. If anybody saw the X5, the X Twitter, whatever the heck it's called, Sweet Fights. If you haven't noticed, he made an announcement. Also, he made an
Carmella's
announcement.
coming back.
Yes,
Okay.
correct, correct. Yes, Carmilla is coming back, and she'll be back in July.
Right, but he didn't say who she's fighting yet.
We know that it's gonna be in Houston. I know that much. He said that. We'll find out her opponent later. He's also going on tour. So
Okay. Good for him.
in June, he's going to California. He's going to the West Coast. So anybody who's fighters, if you're a fighter, if you're interested, get with him. That's all I'm going to say.
Yep, if he's out there on the West Coast, good for him. Because
Is there any
it's
other?
almost like really define the talent, and we've talked about this ad nauseum on the show before. There's really about 10 cities you're gonna find
Mm-hmm.
any decent. I was just checking just to see anybody
Go
texting.
ahead.
Um, excuse me. There's only about 10 cities that you're gonna find decent talent, and the West Coast have at least two. Really,
Yeah,
well, actually, no. I take that three. I would say Vegas, definitely.
Vegas,
Vegas is definitely
uh,
one. LA is
L.A.
another. I'm going to throw San Diego in
Yep,
there as a sleeper. I'm throwing
yep,
San Diego as a sleeper. Um, because San Diego gets you close
yeah.
enough to Mexico, so there may be
True,
something there.
true.
But definitely LA, Vegas, without fail, is two. Um,
Yeah,
Phoenix is starting to be on the come up.
Phoenix is on the come up. Yes.
Phoenix is seeming to be on the come up. The Pacific Northwest and Denver is just not enough to
No,
warrant
not
either
quite.
traveling them there or you traveling there to them. LA,
Yeah.
yes. Vegas, without a doubt.
Yes.
Phoenix is starting to get there.
It's you know
Phoenix is starting to get there. And then outside of that, you go Central. Chicago,
Dallas,
Dallas and Houston, yes. Chicago,
Dallas and Houston.
I thought there'd be more than
Me
what I've
too. I'm
seen.
disappointed in Chicago. You're not the only one. I thought Chicago was going to be big too. I'm kind of disappointed in them.
I can make an argument for Detroit and all of Michigan before I can make a case
Yeah,
for Chicago.
yeah,
We
yeah. I
can
agree with
make
you. Detroit.
we can make a case for Detroit. Um, uh, then of course
Then of course you got New York,
you got New
New York
York.
City. I'm gonna
Actually,
go ahead.
I'm going
I
three
think
cities.
Florida,
Well, I mean Florida, just South Florida.
South
The thing
Florida.
about South Florida is Tampa gets lumped in there, but I call cap on Tampa.
Oh, okay.
Tampa is almost only the strength of one or two people, in my personal opinion, with Tampa. Um,
Gotcha.
Orlando, yes. Miami, yes. So, but they're
Yes.
all South Florida, so you could just call it all South Florida. But really, South Florida, which is those three. Then you got Atlanta and New York. That I would say that I'm skipping DC.
Mm,
I'm skipping Baltimore. I'm skipping Philly. I'm
mm.
skipping Boston for right now because you had Valor out there for so
Oh
long and
Lord.
just trying to find anybody with
And struggling.
and
and
struggling. So
struggle to find one.
find talent that wants.
Baltimore, we have Kira, but that's about it, really.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's not enough. That DMV is not. It's
Yeah,
not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. And that's given you have in that DMV area. You have but one of them's retired. Then you got Tilly, and then you got
yeah, Lyric is retired. I got you.
right. Larry's retired.
So
You got
Lyric,
Tilly, and then
Tilly,
you got Kira, like you said in that DMV area.
that's not enough, really.
Yeah, yeah. No, 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 no. See, like, and when and people ask, what are we looking for? If you can get budget notwithstanding, you just have the budget for it. If you
Mm-hmm.
can get 10, kind of like how Sweet Fights did the old wrestling tournament. If
Mm-hmm.
you can go somewhere and you can reasonably get 10 ladies,
Mm-hmm.
that's right. You can go to Vegas and get 10. You can go to LA and get 10. You can go to Atlanta and
Yep,
get 10. You can go to New
yep.
York and get 10.
Get
You can go to
yep.
Miami. I make the argument Miami, Orlando, each, you can get 10 each.
Agree.
And that's not counting the girls that's in like Fort Lauderdale and all that that's in there in between.
True.
Tampa, I'm going to say you probably
Eh,
can get 10. I'll give Tampa its credit. Because you got Bay Fight and all
okay.
them folks down there.
True. True. True.
So Tampa can get 10. That's why I said between them three right there, that's 30.
That's 30.
You can get literally, and we've seen the names. You know, that's Sarah Brooke and all that. You know, going back and
Yep.
forth between there and Vegas and all. It's like if you're not gonna shoot in Vegas, you're gonna shoot in Florida, Vegas, Florida, or California. As a
Yep.
producer, California is almost worth the trip if you get all the
Yep.
logistics and all that, and get all the
Yep.
ladies and say, hey, look, I'm gonna be here for 4 days, and you try to shoot 6 matches, maybe 6 to 8 matches in four
Yeah.
days.
Yeah. California and Las Vegas are not is not far away from each other, so you could get the
No,
logistics on those two.
no, no. And
There's a lot of people in Vegas.
right.
A
Matter
lot
of
of people in
fact,
Vegas.
because I think it's only like what hour 40 minutes or something like that. It's an hour 20 minutes
Yeah.
from LA
Yeah.
to the Vegas or something like that.
Correct.
I almost could make a point if you plan it right. You can. I don't know if they got an Amtrak or something to go out there or whatever. I don't know,
We don't
but
know.
I don't know. I just don't know that area that well. But I could almost make a case because with Vegas, you know you're gonna have plenty of hotel rooms and plenty of space to
Facts.
shoot.
Facts.
There's gonna be plenty of space to shoot. LA, you're gonna pay a little bit more of a premium for
Of
space
course. Of
if you're in
course.
the city. So you can almost make a case saying, "Hey, look, I'm gonna be in Vegas, blah blah blah. You come over, boom, you know, $50
You're
flight.
right. You're exactly right. A
However,
lot of places.
heck, it's one of them things you can fly there and back same day. So
Facts.
the amount they will cost almost the Uber and Lyft them to get from wherever they at to get to you in LA. I can make a case for you go to Vegas, you can fly them in and back off of McCarran and be done with it.
Exactly. Exactly. It's better. You're right. It's better to go Las Vegas. Like you said, you go in one, you go in, you leave the same day.
You
So I
almost
agree
can
with
get
you
in
there.
and out. So
North Carolina's on the come up too. North Carolina can come on a kind of coming on the come up slowly, kind of. North Carolina and South Carolina. I'm trying to see if I can group them together. I'm not saying they're the 10, but I'm just saying as a no.
no, oh no, no,
Gotcha.
no. I'm not getting 10. I'm not getting 10 in North Carolina, Doc. I'm not getting 10. No, nope, nope.
How many can you get? How many can you get in Virginia? I'm just asking. I'm not even talking about the 10. I'm just asking for a specific number. I'm not asking 10 because I know you can't get 10 in Virginia.
See, the problem with Virginia is you got three parts. You got Tidewater, you got DC area, you got the western part,
Mm,
really the western part, which is Texas Central
I got you.
as well. Dude, DMV takes care of itself. You You calculate the rest of it, it's pennies here. It's pennies. You're not gonna
Gotcha.
get barely 4. That's what I'm saying. North Carolina, you're not getting 10. You might get 5. You might can get 5. You might can get 5. You're not
Mm.
getting 10. You're not no. You're not getting 10. Not in North Carolina. Shoot. Nah. You,
Mm.
the thing is, and this is where I think it's North Carolina has been weird. As someone who's been up and down through those roads, North Carolina, man. And I remember I moved there for 3 months. North
Mm.
Carolina was a
Mm.
weird state. Was a weird state. Because there's everybody's in 3 different pockets. Bro. So the state is cut up in 3 spots. You
Gotcha.
got Piedmont, which is Asheville, pretty much Asheville, boom, where App State is. That's pretty much it. Western
Mm.
Carolina, they out there. Got the Piedmont. Well, actually, no, correction. You got the Appalachians. Yeah,
Yep.
so you got the Appalachians. Then you got the coastal, where
Yep.
Greenville is, Nags Head, Outer Banks, Wilmington, Atlantic Beach.
Yep.
Hard to find talent out there. They're in one in New Bern. One person may be in Greenville. One person may be in Edenton. One person may be in Washington. It's, it, they're not close. They're not close
Mm.
enough. One may be in Goldsboro. So
Gotcha.
then you got Piedmont, which is in the middle. Which Piedmont is made up of 3 areas. You got the Triangle, which is Chapel Hill,
Mm-hmm.
Durham, Raleigh. Then you got the
Mm-hmm.
Triad, which is Winston-Salem, High Point, um, Greensboro. Then you have Charlotte Metro, which is Charlotte,
Gotcha.
Mecklenburg County, and it spills over to Rock Hill, South Carolina. And some people live on the South Carolina side of the border, Gastonia side of the border, and they just commute in. Because it's only like
Mm.
22 miles, something like that, from Charlotte,
Gotcha.
downtown Charlotte to the border. It's like 22 miles.
That's not bad.
No, not bad. So that's what I'm saying. It's just in those areas, just not enough. And that kind of shocked me. That kind of shocked me because you had what was the name of the one with the Asian girl named Kim? There was a black girl named Kyla. Carolina catfights. You're talking about the state that
Yeah.
Carolina catfights came out of. If I'm not
Yep.
mistaken, Fat Farah. I
Yes.
want to
Fat
say
Pharaoh.
most of
Yes.
this stuff was shot in
Yep.
North Carolina, and
Facts.
I know Kim Chi is based out of North Carolina. She wasn't always
Carolina.
there. She wasn't always there, but she's been down there the last couple of years.
Yep.
And there's a couple of other ladies that shoot with her, but they're not doing full blown catfights. Not new. They'll do a bunch of fetish. Now, if you're trying to get fetish stuff done, North Carolina is great for fetish work. You can get a lot of people to do fetish work down there, but to do straight up like full blown catfight. Alexa Brooke
Mm-mm.
was from Greensboro.
North Carolina.
She
Yep.
was from Greensboro. Like I said, you had them 1 or 2, and that was it. And it just, that's why I said North Carolina's strange. For a group that I would not put them in the top 10, they have produced a lot of stuff that's out there. It's
Mm-hmm.
just, it was just, it was just that period of time, and then once that period of time is up, or that producer
That was
stops,
it.
quits, or moves, that's it. You don't hear from them girls any again. Um,
Gotcha.
and, and you see that a lot happen where if a producer shuts down shop, where the, the talent is not plugged in enough to the industry to be
Right.
like, hey, can I go get more work in it? It's almost like they just want to come up, show up, take the money, go home, and they don't even care about if they, you know. I'm the type of
Mm.
producer that if somebody asks for one of our talent and they're still open to fighting or whatever, which is why on my forums I have all of that listed out. You know, how far are they willing to travel? If someone's they're willing to go as long as they're paid. The travel's paid for, and someone's like, look, I can't go more than 30 miles from the house. You know,
Right.
it just what is the talent willing to do? So, and so if another
Correct.
producer calls me, boom, I pull up the phone and be like, oh, well, yeah, or if, hey, you got somebody that want to do mud, or somebody that want to do oil, or somebody that want to do whatever, boom. Oh, okay, I got this. Boom. So pretty simple.
Let me see. This is pretty much going to be our. I was surprised to get 30 minutes out of this show today because there's not really much more to
Oh no, but
say.
well, dude, we didn't have a show the previous one, so I figured we were gonna get at least a good half hour today.
We are. I'm trying to fill space now because other than what we told you, there's not really much. And unless you want to talk about was
What's
it King and Queen of the Ring?
no, before we even get to that, Slap City. Didn't they have a fight that took place between the last show and this show?
It
Oh,
Yeah, it hasn't been released though.
oh,
It
it
still
hasn't.
hasn't been released.
Okay,
It
so
was who was it? It was what's her name? It was Kayla versus who was that other chick? Gemma. That the fight did happen, people. It did happen. But according to what Slap City has told us, he's been moving. He was moving house. So in other words, he's been moving. So he hasn't had time to upload. And
uh,
yeah, and so Claus Webb knows about moving stuff before you all the moving stuff is consumed his time. Let's put it this way. He said he says he's going to do it very soon, but people, y'all gonna have to be patient, man. He's still in the process of configuring his house or whatever he's doing.
shout out to Mike, Luke Swag in the building. He put out his best show on the net. Thank you so for the support and everything. Um, I'm working on some stuff I can't reveal yet. I'm still
Yep, yep, yep.
working on. Oh
All
God,
I was gonna say is people be patient. Something good is gonna happen. Just be patient. Something good will happen.
yeah,
Be patient.
it's just
These things take time,
kind of
man.
tracking down people and all that, and then it's like, look, I need to know about X, Y, Z. Then they go 0 dark 30, and then they want to wake up after the holiday weekend. Hey, where were you 3 weeks ago? But I mean, at least be like, look, I got something going on. I'll get back to you. Something. Don't go radio silent, and then all of a sudden you want to pop up. That's not how this works.
Uh
We are in the mood on.
Anyways, people, while we're still on the mode, I want to thank all of. I know we missed a week, people, but I want to thank y'all. Some of y'all who are going to watch this at some point tomorrow or the weekend. We want to thank y'all immediately for this.
Yes.
So we want to thank you guys, you international fan people. I don't know how I don't know how y'all do this. You work on a week, y'all like 6 7 hours ahead, and then y'all eventually at some point find a way to watch
Right.
this. So we appreciate y'all. I don't know how y'all do this.
I mean, some of them they either listening on their way to work, or they eat breakfast and they're watching it, or for some they don't. They wait till the weekend. Like usually Saturday
A
morning.
lot of them
Our
probably.
two biggest bumps is the next morning,
Mhm.
um, with the international, and then in the weekend like that Saturday. Saturday seems to be
Mm.
another big bump of people. The vast majority of the people who watch, those are usually the 2 days they watch. I also want to give a shout out to Black Beauty Rollers. I know they're out of Kenya. Want to give them some love.
Yep. Yep.
They have really come
We
on.
have to. We must.
Yeah, they have really come on strong lately. Their
Sure
last,
has. Oh my
I want to say
goodness.
the last dozen or so. Um, I
Oh
think
yeah,
what
the
the
last
life,
3 weeks they've been on it.
yeah, a lot of it. I think what it really comes down to is just trying to figure out your niche, and then trying to figure out what your talent's good at, trying to figure out your niche, and trying to acclimate. I think they may have did
Hmm.
the best job of acclimating their talent because when they first,
Agree.
their first couple of fights and stuff that I saw, it was okay. It's just a bunch of rolling around and just trying to get comfortable of doing it.
Hmm.
Then they messed around and they did this real cat fight tournament. Oh
Facts.
my God. The real cat fight tournament. That's when everything started to ratchet up. And it's like, okay. And now it's like, okay, the girls are fully up to speed now. So
Hmm.
I feel bad for anybody that's coming in new that wasn't in on the ground floor. yeah, it's gonna be you're gonna miss out because it's gonna be you're gonna have to
That'd
catch
been
up so much
fantastic.
because each fight you see them get better and better and better.
Yep.
Like I said, now it's not like what we talked about with the with Reagan's last production, with Kyla's last production, um, Kitty Calls. It's not to the technical style of that, but from an
Correct.
energy standpoint, from an emotional standpoint, um,
Yep.
and skill wise, they're just getting better and better and better at it. You just
Yep. Yep.
this is not again. This is not shooting 15,000 jumpers in the gym. This is not that.
Mm-mm.
This
Mm-mm.
is something I personally believe. I say about a good three fights will help you find what your style is of fights.
I
And
agree with you
by the
there.
time, and we've sat there and thought about this. How many fights do you have to be a legend? And I would say you got to have at least six. And of those six,
Agree.
I believe you need to have one at least four. Four is debatable.
Agree.
I would say you need
Agree.
five to be a legend. If you talk about you want to go down one of the best to ever do it, either you win at least five or one all six. Uh, hardly
I agree
nobody
with that statement.
goes undefeated. I don't know nobody that's went undefeated in this. I would say
I don't
probably
think so either.
well, I would say Sexy White was probably the only one who came
I
in
agree.
and went
Clean house and beat everybody.
clean house undefeated. The only thing is that one time they was together uh
Ugh.
in South Carolina and
Ugh.
that retreat. If they would have just did just gave us 10 minutes, I
That's
think
it.
at least because that was probably the last time that, from a physical standpoint, it would have been maybe an even match. Because
Usually I don't make a prediction, but if that fight would have happened, I will. I ain't gonna say. I actually think that would be like
I
one of
would
the better
just be
fights
happy
that
it
year.
pulled off. That would have been one of the few fights I would have went into. I am not picking to win. Usually, I feel one was stronger one way or the other with the seven S's. That I've
Me too.
always talked about the seven S's. That was
Yep.
one where I don't
Yep.
think legitly I could go from a size standpoint. Like from a size
Lyric.
standpoint, Lyric was bigger. From a
Yep.
speed standpoint,
Sexy
I'm going to
wife.
say Sexy Wife
Sexy
was
wife.
maybe just a tad bit speed. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just trying to make sure.
There's no typing. She had more speed than lyric. Let's be serious.
Stamina, I think they both could go. To me, that's a
Even.
tie. It's even for
Even.
the tie.
Yep.
Skill,
Sexy wife
again,
still.
you think Sexy Wife
It's
was more
close.
skilled than Lyric.
They're both skilled. They're both very skilled.
That's why I said that's still a tie.
Keep going.
So that leaves three left. One, two, three, four. There's three left. So, um, ring smarts.
There you go. Ooh.
I'm going to say Sexy Wife barely because she had this uncanny knack of knowing how to use the walls, the floor, all the other
True.
her ring of her mat awareness was literally uncanny.
So basically, what you try to yeah, her math awareness was
So
excellent. I don't know how you can describe it.
that's that. And then we got strength.
Stamina.
No strength. No, we already done stamina. Remember, we called him strength.
Ooh.
Because lyric is bigger.
Yeah.
It's almost like strength. Lyric being, and only solely not because Sexy Wife isn't strong. It's solely on the fact because lyric being bigger in size. So now that's 4 and 4. The last one left is spirit. I rest my case. That's why I said, dude, it's 5 and 5. It's even. That's why I said I just would have been happy just to see them pull off.
Me too.
I don't even know. I would just been happy just to see it, and it would have been one of the few things.
Yeah.
If it was a tie, I wouldn't have been bad.
Neither will I. You said it before. You remember. I remember you saying this before. There's a few fighters that deserve their money and weight. Those who deserved it.
Yeah.
If that fight were to pull off, both of them deserve it. right, paid
Um,
them, right, paid them.
right. Um,
At that time, 1,500, 2,000 paid them. They deserve it. They were both very good,
now
very, very good.
I will say this. When it comes to ties, I have been now exposed. So the last time I did wrestling of any, like I'm talking about like collegiate Olympic style wrestling.
I got you.
Last time I had did wrestling of any sort was 20.
Was it 2 or 3 years ago?
Pandemic was 2020.
Yeah, that was 4 years ago.
Uh 2021. It was 2021. 2021 was
Okay.
the last, so it was 3 years ago. Last time I had did wrestling of any sort. In
Mhm.
collegiate wrestling, if it goes to if the score is tied, they do a 30-second sudden death, and they'll
Oh,
keep
okay, cool.
going sudden deaths until somebody scores a point, or somebody, or the period ends with somebody up a point. That's how they
Oh, okay.
or the scores. That's how they do sudden death. They do sudden death that way.
Gotcha.
All right.
I actually like that one better.
Which sometimes, well, the problem with sudden death is sometimes, which in collegiate wrestling, the first round is 3 minutes, the second round
Yep.
is 2 minutes, the third round is 2 minutes. So it's 3 rounds.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's 7 minutes you're wrestling.
Yep.
In the event it goes to sudden death,
Mm-hmm.
you adding on these extra 30 seconds. So, dude, we've seen sudden deaths go to, and then they try to cap it at 3 rounds of sudden death. So 3 rounds of sudden death
Oh,
is
okay.
another minute and a half of wrestling. So now you got
Gotcha.
dudes wrestling for 8.5 minutes, almost 9 minutes. That's a long time to wrestle.
Okay.
So somewhere between that and 2024, when I started doing Olympic wrestling, they've changed it now. They're now going, because the problem was it was getting too defensively stale. They wanted more action,
True.
they wanted more points, and they wanted more aggression. So what they did is they changed it to this: if the score is tied, now of course there's different ways you can score. They got major points and all of that. But most people,
Mm-hmm.
usually if a score is tied, they kind of got to that point the same way for both fighters. So
Mm-hmm.
what they'll do is, if the score is tied, whoever scored last wins.
Interesting. Very
At first,
interesting.
I was like, I couldn't grasp the concept. I was like, wait a minute, what? Why would
I'm
you
still
want?
trying. I'm trying to grasp it now.
I could not grasp it at first. I'm like, why would you want to reward? Well, But but what I started to see, especially as the competition started getting better and better, it allows for aggression, because the person who's
Mm.
behind is going to try out, because they know if I could just tie it, I'll get the win. And anything, if you're the one up, you can't sit back and play defense.
Bingo.
Because if you stay back and play defense, what's going to happen is that other person's aggression is going to overtake you, and then they tie it up, and then you done lost the match because you're trying to play keep away instead of staying, keeping your foot on
Staying
the ground.
aggressive.
Right,
Yep.
keeping your foot. I was like, aha, I see now. I said, oh, okay, I get it.
Makes sense.
So,
Makes sense now.
and it made it that much more competitive. So either guys was getting blown out, and then there was ladies at the tournament too, or the Olympics.
True.
Either they were getting blown out, or it was
Okay.
going to a tie. And then when it goes to the tie, whoever scored last. So there was
They
not,
won.
they were made it the same. Now in the Olympics, they do 2 3 minute periods. That's how they do. So
Yeah.
6 minutes,
Yeah.
2 3 minute periods, and that's it. So Doc,
Yep.
I've seen it where folks folks tied up with 20 seconds left or 15 seconds left. And it's like,
You
oh,
better go for it.
because they're going for broke. You
You
see what
better
I'm
go for
saying?
broke. At that point, you have
They're
to.
going for broke. They're going for broke. Um, Now if it's just, and the thing is, because of that, nobody ever ended in the 0-0 tie. I don't. Well, I know.
Mm.
I remember one match ending in the 0-0 tie, and I'm trying to think, what did they do? was the false start. I can't even remember what they ended up doing. I think that one they did 1 minute round. They did 1 minute round.
Mm,
Yeah, I think they did 1 minute round as an overtime. But other than that, almost everything else, as long as somebody scores something, point. No, it's almost hard to wrestle 6 minutes and not score a point at all,
correct.
at all.
Correct.
So,
Correct. It's just. It's just very
especially in
difficult
Olympic
because.
wrestling, it's
Yep.
very hard to do that. You can do that in Greco-Roman, freestyle wrestling, yes, or folk
Sure.
style they call it. Greco-Roman, yeah, you can go
Yeah.
and not score in Greco-Roman just because of the way Greco-Roman is. Um,
This is different. This is different because the rules are now to the point where if you're not aggressive, you're not going to win.
you're not going to
Period.
win.
That's just how that
So I
goes.
said, you know what? This may be something we made to look into the catfight community, where if a score ends up tied, I know traditionally we try to do whoever seemed to be the more aggressive one,
Yeah,
and that's what we've kind of done to this point,
we
you
have.
know.
We have.
But I think it would be better served whoever scored last and let that person be the winner. Because one, it made the definitive winner. Two, and I want to start the next couple matches I produce. I'm going to put that in, and I want to see if that ends up making the girls more aggressive. Because it's like at the end of the day, there needs to be a winner and loser. Yes, these girls aren't, trained world
This
class
is fast.
athletes. So sometimes trying to ask them to do all this, and it's kind of like, and especially
But
when
you're
you start
right.
with
You're
duty,
right.
you can have
You're
a lot
right.
of one
You're
one
right. It needs to
or 2-2 matches. You
zero
can have.
zero.
I wouldn't say it'd be 0-0.
I know it's rare. Yeah, it's rare. That's veterans. You probably see more technical tactical matches, but
Like that one with Janai fought Gilly. That was a 0-0
yeah,
match. But Janai was clearly the more aggressive. Something like that, okay,
correct.
fine. We'll vote that one. The sponsors voted it in. We were just like, we knew she was.
It was obvious.
Yeah, it was obvious. Gilly was just on defense. Because just because I'm good on defense, I shouldn't be penalized for it.
Yeah,
I get it, but
wrong.
it's like, but
I
it
like
has to
it.
be
I like
something.
this. I like this change. I like this change because you said it.
It
So
added
all the
so
people who
much
like to
more
be
aggressive.
defensive, you can't be a defensive. You cannot you can't be defensive. You're gonna be defensive, you're going to lose. So you're gonna have to be more aggressive and then take these chances. You said
It
take these
added
risks.
it added a lot more aggression.
Mm,
Because
mhm,
if I'm up 1-0 and it's 4 minutes left in the match,
mhm.
knowing that this girl, all she got to do is tie, and she gets the money,
Bingo.
you better make that 2-0 and shut that door
I like that.
and shut the door.
Like you said,
So
1-0, 2-1. You up 2-1, man. I gotta make it 3-1 and end this. I can't.
right,
I
you,
can't.
you don't want to leave nothing to chance. If she tied 2-2, she gets the money.
I like this rule. Agree.
You had
I
to
like
stay
this. You
aggressive.
should put it in. Let's see what happens.
We're going to see. But
I
I
like
know
this one.
if it made the Olympians that much more, and they're not getting nowhere near, like, they're not getting UFC money or whatever. But it
Mm-mm.
just, yeah. I was just like, man, that's okay, cool. Okay.
All right,
Yep.
people, we're wrapping, man. We got almost 45 minutes out of this. So cool. We are wrapping.
Yeah.
Okay. The man's
Next,
bringing up the credits real quick. I'll give him some time.
next episode
Go
is
ahead. I'll let you do it. I think it's June
oh,
10th.
June 10th. Yep. June 10th will be the
Yes,
next
people.
episode.
Yes, June 10th. As he rolls up the credits again. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm gonna let him finish his real quick. Go ahead.
Yep. I can be reached at Coswell on X and IG.
And Clem can be reached at Clem underscore AKUFO on IG and Clem Okufo on X. And as everyone knows, from the parts unknown, my name is Clem Okufo, my guy Kaiser. We are out, people. See you guys in 2 weeks. Peace.
These I
Good
wanted
night.
at least wanted to show.
Go ahead.
Let me make this. Nope, it didn't. I was trying to get it. The show, the June 10th. June 10th. All right.
There we go.
All right. Until next time, people.
Peace.